The search for quick solutions is like a flame that burns brightly but quickly fades. When we embark on a journey of change, we are often drawn to the idea that something magical can happen in a short span of time. The promise that, in a few days, everything will be different. But what really happens when we search for quick answers? The transformation that seemed within reach slips through our fingers like sand. The urgency to see an immediate result only intensifies the void, as if we are trying to deceive our own nature. The modern world teaches us to seek instant gratification. We are always chasing the next trick, the next solution, the next step that will lead us to what we think is happiness or peace. But deep down, we know that none of this truly fills the emptiness we feel. The search for rapid change is a response to the fear of time slipping away. We fear the loss of what could have been, what has yet to unfold. And as we fixate on the future, the present slips away from our sight, unnoticed, though it is rich with life. The paradox is clear. The faster we push, the further we drift from what truly matters. True transformation is not about control or rushing the process. It is, above all, an inner movement that happens in its own time, a movement that cannot be sped up, for it is in the space of waiting that true change reveals itself. It is not the search for quick results that transforms us, but the time we give ourselves to live the journey. The process is not linear and cannot be compressed into 14 days or any predetermined period. It is like a seed growing beneath the earth, unseen, before it becomes something visible. Real transformation does not occur through the control of time. It does not obey the calendar. It does not rush to a place where we are not yet, and yet we seek to hurry it along. We want to see results now. We want quick changes. We want to feel that we are on the right path. But the truth is that transformation happens not in the future, but in the now. It is not time that needs to be controlled, but our perception of it. True change happens when we surrender to the present moment, without rushing to reach any destination, without the desire for something different to occur. When we accept what is, without resistance. It is a paradox, isn't it? We want to change our lives, yet at the same time, we want to control them. And it is precisely this attempt at control that prevents us from experiencing true transformation. As Allan wisely pointed out, true change occurs when we stop trying to force it. When we surrender, without resistance, to the present moment, transformation begins to unfold naturally. Watts said, "The thing you desire most is, paradoxically, the thing you avoid most." This is the core of our struggle. We want to change, but we do not accept the process. We want transformation, but we do not accept what it demands of us. Patience, acceptance, and surrender. The practice of letting go is central to this process. When we stop fighting against things, when we stop trying to control everything around us, when we stop forcing change, it is then that true transformation can occur. The flow of life, like the water in a river, only becomes clear when we let it follow its course. If we try to hold the water, it becomes murky, but if we simply allow it to flow, it becomes crystal clear. So is life. True transformation happens when we stop trying to control it and instead allow ourselves to flow with it. Time, this fleeting and relentless concept, plays a crucial role in our lives. We constantly live in the future, in a tomorrow that never arrives, in a promise of something better that never materializes. Yet, time is also the key to true healing. What happens when we stop rushing the future, when we stop projecting our hopes and fears onto what has not yet happened and simply begin to live in the now? Perhaps in that moment, true change begins. Neuroscience teaches us that when we are constantly thinking about the future, our brains get stuck in a cycle of anticipation and anxiety. We are always looking for something that is yet to come, always waiting for something. But what happens when we stop waiting? When we allow ourselves to simply exist in the present without the need for anything else? When we let go of the pressure of a future that must be reached, healing begins to take place. The present moment, this fleeting moment, becomes the only reality that matters, and it is within it that we can find what we seek. Jung, with his deep wisdom, spoke about the importance of the individuation process. the long, gradual journey to meet the self. This process cannot be rushed. There are no shortcuts to true healing, to truly understanding who we are. The process demands time, patience, and above all, acceptance. By trying to rush it, we only deny its essence. True transformation, Jung teaches us, comes when we accept the process and stop fighting against it. It is not about a final destination, but about the journey itself, and that journey can only happen in the present. True change begins within us. It is not in the outer world, in the circumstances, or in the people around us. The transformation we seek happens when we turn our attention inward to what already exists within our awareness. And for that, we must learn to observe, to perceive, to feel, not to control, but to understand. The first step in this process is self-observation. Stop for a moment and simply observe what is happening in your mind and body. There is no need to judge, label, or correct. Just observe. What do you think when you are alone? What do you feel when you are in silence? By observing your thoughts and feelings without attachment, you begin to notice automatic patterns, reactions that you might not have known existed. And by noticing these patterns, you begin to dissolve the control they have over your life. The second step is the practice of gratitude. Gratitude for what is already present. Gratitude for life, for the experiences, for the people around us. It is not forced or superficial gratitude, but a deep acceptance of what we already have. When we practice gratitude, we align our vibration with the reality we wish to create. We are no longer fighting, but accepting, and at the same time, moving toward what we desire. The third step is meditation. Meditating is, in a way, an act of surrender. Surrender to the present moment. Surrender to what is. Each breath, each pause, each silence is an opportunity to connect with the now. And it is in the now, in the space between thoughts, that true transformation happens. It is not about forcing the mind to quiet, but about allowing it to calm on its own. It is not about seeking an answer, but about resting in the question. There is something profound in silence, not an empty silence, but that deep silence that comes when we stop fighting, when we stop searching. This silence is like a river flowing within us, moving gently, effortlessly. But if we try to control it, it becomes turbulent. When we accept silence, when we allow it to fill the space inside us, true change can occur. Silence is not just the absence of sound, it is the presence of a mind no longer searching. And this silence is the key to vibrational alignment. It places us in tune with reality, with the now, with what is. In silence, we find the space for transformation. We find the space for true change to occur, without rushing, without pressure, without expectations. Watts teaches us that true transformation is not an action, but an acceptance. It is not something we do, but something that happens when we stop doing, when we stop fighting against life and instead surrender to its natural flow. Silence in this sense is not merely the absence of sound, but the full presence of our essence, of our true nature. And now, after these 14 days, what has changed? You expected something grand, something extraordinary, but perhaps what has truly changed is not something external. Perhaps what has changed is the way you relate to life, to the present moment, to impermanence. The error of seeking a final result is that there is no finish line. There is no goal to reach, only a journey to be lived. And true transformation happens in this process, in this very moment. True transformation is not an event, but a continuous unfolding. It is not something that happens all at once, but something that reveals itself over time as we accept our own journey. Jung teaches us that true transformation happens when we accept the process, with its imperfections, hesitations, and shadows. It is not the promise of a better future that brings peace, but the radical acceptance of what is. The path is the goal. The process is the destination. So what changes after these 14 days? Your relationship with the now. You begin to see that change is not in a distant future, but in the present you are living. And by doing this, you align yourself with the flow of life, allowing transformation to happen without haste, without demands. It is not about controlling time, but about living time fully.